Alright, so now I'm going to click this X and go back to the dashboard. And if you go to your templates, here it will show your pages. Sometimes it doesn't show all of them. To be honest, I don't know why, but if you just hit all or published, they will all be in that list. So that's all of them. So the first one that I'm going to do is go down to Homepage Header and click Edit with Elementor. So that's going to open up and show you the header that's on your homepage. So basically, if you go to the homepage of the demo, you will see this. If you click on About, you will see this. So the header here is black and there's no background image because basically this whole section is a header because of the way that Elementor works. So right now I'm going to show you how to edit this, but first we're going to go up to the top left corner and hit this little hamburger and click Site Settings. So now in your downloads there are some screenshots, so you're going to open up Global Colors, which should be the first one, and I'm going to move it to the left and then just move my screen over a bit so that I can see both at the same time. Click Global Colors and you're just going to go through and change all of these. The hex code is right there in gray, so primary color is going to be FDCF8E. Secondary is BFCFD8. My text is just black. Accent color is 8E6402. And you'll see you don't have a 3 and a 4, but just hit Add Color, rename this 3 or whatever you want, doesn't matter, and change those. Okay, and then add another one, call it 4, and change it to ABAF7D. And of course you can customize these colors. I do recommend kind of just keeping them the same as mine for now until you get more of an idea of how it works. So basically what these global colors do is if you go to the demo site, you'll see this section is yellow and this section is yellow. So if I change my primary color to say white, then they are both going to turn white. So if you don't want everything that's yellow on your template to turn a different color, you need to edit these individually, which I will show you how to do. But the global colors just make things a little bit easier if you want to like mass edit your whole website and turn every yellow section white or gray or whatever. Okay, so after you're done with global colors, click that back arrow and click Global Fonts. Then there's a folder called O1 Global Fonts. So I'm going to open that up, and there are 4 screenshots in there. So open up number 1. It's called Primary Typography. So hit that pencil icon and change all the settings. So the family's Playfair display, size 60, weight 900. All right. Then open up the next screenshot, which is secondary typography, and just follow along with the screenshot and change everything there. Make sure it matches. Next one is text typography. And you can edit these fonts as well to match your brand. And just like the primary colors, this will affect pretty much everything on your site that uses these global fonts. So just be careful with that. All right, so you're just going to go through all the screenshots there and change everything. All right. And now we're done with that. So going back to here, there's a screenshot called To Body Plus Link. So I'm going to open that up. I'm going to hit that back arrow and go to typography. So here, we're just doing the same thing. So I'm going to change my text color to black. Paragraph spacing is 0. Link color, I want it to be gray, so I'm going to change it to 989797. Alright, next I'm going to open up body typography. So that's up here under body, click the pencil next to typography, and you're going to change it to make sure it matches. Open up the next screenshot, which is called H1 photography. So open up or typography. Open up that up, change the settings. So Playfair display 36. Perfect. Next, open up H2 photography. I keep saying photography, it's typography. H2 typography, Playfair display, size 20, 900, 0.05. All right. So you're just gonna go through all of those and make sure you match them up to the screenshots. Okay. So H4. And I didn't do H5 or H6 because I didn't use them. If you want, you can, set your own style for that. But I didn't use them in this template. Okay. So next we're going to click that back arrow and go to buttons. And open up screenshot number 8, which is called buttons. And I'm going to change my text color to white, my background color to 8E6402, that brown color. Okay, and make sure the border radius is at 0, because if it's anything above 0, it will give you those rounded corners. So if you want that, go ahead, but if you want it to just be like a 90-degree angle for each corner, set it to 0. Okay, open up the next screenshot, which is called buttons typography. And go back up here, buttons, typography, click that pencil, and change that. So this is going to update every button on your website to be this color. And you can, if you change that color, it's going to change every single button on your website, unless you go to each button individually and change the color, like if you want to just change that specific one, which I will show you later. But okay, then I'm going to hit that back arrow and go to site identity. So this is another place where you can change your site name, whatever you want. You can add a description if you want. I am actually going to upload my logo. So just that van icon. Okay. So you can add a logo if you want, add a favicon. And there we go. So now I'm going to hit that back arrow. And then I'm going to hit this X. So now I'm going to show you how to edit this header. So the first thing we're going to do is change those photos. And these are my photos. You will see them on your screen, but obviously please don't use them. I left them in just because I think it's a lot easier to figure out how to use this template when you have photos there rather than just like a blank space. But yeah, so if you hover over this anywhere in this section, you'll see this little blue tab at the top. So you're going to hit those 6 dots in the middle, and it's going to pop up with this layout section. Okay, so you don't really need to change anything in layout, but if you go over to style, this is where you change all the settings. So here, the background is those 2 photos. So you can actually change this to just be 1 photo. If you go to classic, you can upload an image right there and it'll be 1 photo. Or you can even do a color. But if you go back to slideshow, hover over this area and click that pencil, it'll give you the option to edit your gallery. So you're just going to choose your photos and upload them there. And you can delete them by clicking that X and whatnot. So then you click insert gallery and there it is. It's going to update with your photos. And then you can change how long each photo lasts, how long the transition lasts. And if you go to background overlay, you can add an overlay by clicking classic and color. Like if you wanted it to be black to make the text pop more, you can do that. Or if you wanted it to be white and then make your text black, you can do that. And if you ever change something and you don't really like it, you can just click this little back arrow and clear that so it goes back to how it was. Alright, so then if you scroll down to typography, I didn't really use this to change my fonts. So what you're actually going to do is click on whatever you want to change. So let's say wedding and elopement photographer. I'm going to click that. And in this text box, you can change it to say whatever you want. So let's say Seattle wedding photographer. Okay. And let's say you wanted to change the color. So if you go to style, you can also change the alignment, center it, to the left, right, whatever. Change the color here. Want to make it black. And then that typography pencil icon, this is where it looks like you would change your font, but you'll notice if you do anything here, it won't change your font at all. And the reason for that is because this is set to heading 1. And remember, we have those global font styles, or global fonts, and those header settings. So if you want to change every single heading 1, you can go back to global settings and change that font. Or if you want to just change this one, you can select this text, click here, and change it to paragraph. And if it's set as a paragraph, it will allow you to change everything as much as you want because it's not constrained to that header 1. But I'm going to highlight it again and change it back to heading 1. And then under that is another text box. So you can click that and change this text as well. Say I want to do adventurous weddings or whatever. And same thing here. If you go to style, you can change the color, but it won't let you change the font. What you have to do is highlight it and change it to be paragraph. And then when you go to style, it will let you edit that font. Okay. So the next thing is I'm going to show you how to change this title. So this will automatically fill in with your site title. If you go to style, you can change the color there. You can change the font there. Do whatever you want. Yeah, so all the text boxes are pretty much the same. You go to style to change that. If you click on your menu, like the links, it will give you some options as well. So pretty much anytime you want to change fonts or colors or the font size or anything, that's going to be in the style tab. So you can play around with that if you want to. And then if you ever like make a bunch of changes and you don't really like how it looks, all you have to do is go to history and just go back to before you change anything. So I'm also going to show you how to add a logo. If you click these 9 squares at the top and click site logo, you can click and drag it anywhere. I'm going to put it above my title and it will automatically fill in with your logo. And you can change the size from full to thumbnail. You can align it differently, all that. And if you want just the logo and no title, all you have to do is right click on your site title or press Control and click if you're on a Mac, and it'll give you these options. So you can do that and just delete it and it'll show you your logo. Okay, so I'm going to go back to my history and I'm going to change those settings back to how they were. So after you're done with your settings and everything, what you're going to do is click Update if you haven't saved it, or click that arrow and go to Display Conditions. Then it'll ask you this question. You're going to add a condition. The default is the entire site, but I only want this to show on my homepage. So I'm going to click here, click Singular, go down to Pages, and then choose a page. So I'm going to type in home. And once my homepage shows up, I'm going to choose that. So what that does is it makes this header only show up on my homepage and nowhere else. Okay, so after that saves, you're done with that. And if you go to the homepage of your website, you're going to see your header at the top. Okay, so that is it for now, and I'll see you in the next video.